Hey guys, we are back with some more MODO Eastside Hockey Manager, and in this one, we are starting out year number 7. But before we get started, we did sign Braden Tracy as another forward, because he was asking for not a lot of salary, only $100,000, we signed him to $110,000, and for his skill level, that's pretty good. He's got a 75 off the puck, 86 for slap shot and wrist shot, pretty good offensively overall, and he's very fast, 92 for speed. That's definitely got to be worth the investment, and he fits within the player budget most importantly. So now as we take a look at the season preview, first on the list is Vasteras, then you have Almtuna, Karl Skrona, Oskarshamn, Your MODO Hockey, Bjorklöven, Södertälje, Mora, Tingsryd, Karlskoga, Västervik, Vita Hasten, Sundsvall, a new team in the league, and Troja Ljungby. So it looks like Luleå was moved back up to the SHL. And the top goalies for this year are Jesper Myrenberg of Vasteras, Philip Gustafsson of Södertälje, Isaac Wallen of Mora, Emil Zetterqvist of Almtuna, Olaf Lindbom of Bjorklöven, Emil Kruse of Vasteras, Oscar Maciello of Oskarshamn, Jonas Johansson of Tingsryd, Arvid Lung of Karl Skrona, and Eric Forsberg of Your MODO Hockey. Top defensemen, you have Lucas Ramberg of Tingsryd, Joey Keane of Karl Skrona, Ole Alsing of Your MODO Hockey, Kalle Johansson also of Your MODO Hockey. You have Kevin Ekman Larson of Karlskoga, Lucas Cormier of Vasteras, Clayton Phillips of Vasteras, Anton Lindholm of Oskarshamn, Jacob Stenqvist also of Oskarshamn, and then you have Frederick Allard of Almtuna. Left wingers, you have Jonathan Dahlin of Almtuna, Eric Engstrand of Södertälje, Emil Gabrielsson of Karl Skrona, Glenn Gustafsson of Oskarshamn, Oliver Eklund of Karlskoga, Carl Jacobson of Mora, Tor Emo of Karlskoga, Alex Lind of Karl Skrona, Emil Lundberg of Bjorklöven, and Jonathan Wickstrom also of Bjorklöven. Top centers, you have Hugo Luvinus of Karl Skrona, Oscar Back of Almtuna, Gustav Franzen of Oskarshamn, Simon Krakula of Bjorklöven, Lucas Carlson of Södertälje, Emil Smedberg also of Södertälje, Gustav Wilman Borvik of Oskarshamn, Isaac Skedung of Vasteras, Emil Alba of Västervik, and Victor Lodin of Almtuna. Top right wingers, you have Victor Nielsen of Tingsryd, Marcus Peterson of Södertälje, David Karlstrom of Karlskoga, Daniel Czar of Almtuna, Oscar Stahl Lyrinus of Bjorklöven, Jens Luck of Almtuna, Fabian Zetterlund of Tingsryd, Tobias Lindberg of Oskarshamn, Christopher Fish of Vita Hasten, and Linus Gustafsson of Karlskoga. And the top prospects, William Brown of Tingsryd, Daniel Frolin of Södertälje, Igor Larson of Your MODO Hockey, Simon Aho of Mora, Marwin Wademo Nordqvist of Vasteras, Daniel Larson of Vasteras as well, Dennis Blomgren of Tingsryd, Simon Edvinsson of Sundsvall, Max Johansson Inga of Almtuna, and Valtteri Hansen also of Almtuna. So for the first few games, we will be without not only Sebastian Dyke due to injury, but Jacob Winquist due to the fact that he's still going to be at Winnipeg's camp until I believe the end of the week. So besides that, we have 7 games this month up against Sundsvall, Bjorklöven, Karlskoga, Oskarshamn, Vasteras, Almtuna, and Mora. But not before we look at our lines to start the season. At forward, you have Janssen, Rimsha, and Schmidt-Svedstrup on the first line. On the second line, you have Tracy, Oscar Lindberg, and Waugh. On the third line, you have Naslund, Larson, and Miller. And on the fourth line, you have Bresnev, Seymour, and Tobias Lindberg. On defense, you have Johansson and Carlson, Alsing and Mikowski, Jennings and Norberg, Sixna and McDonald, and in goal you have Forsberg and Olsen. So after 3 games, Jacob Winquist is finally back from Winnipeg's training camp. So we are going to take out Seymour. He has a .567 in 3 games, and we'll dress Winquist. Dyke is still injured, so we're going to have to leave him scratch for right now. No point in dressing him this early in the season and re-aggravating the injury when we don't necessarily need to get him in there. And as far as defense goes, Kalle Johansson is actually injured with a thigh contusion. Day-to-day, we don't need to push him too much. It'll be an opportunity to get Bengtsson or Jacobson in there anyway. So I think we will get Bengtsson in there. And Sebastian Dyke is back. We definitely need to get him back in there. Tom Lindberg, unfortunately, not doing too well to start out this season. With a 6 average rating, we will scratch him and get Dyke back in. And Kalle Johansson is also back now, so we're going to get him back in, of course. We'll take Bengtson out. In his one game, he had a 6 average rating. And the player of the month is Joey Keane of Karlskrona, and the rookie of the month is William Brown of Tingsryd. So now we will check out the player stats from the past month. Forsberg played in all 7 games, went 5-2 with a save percentage of .919 and a .201 goals against average and an 8 average rating. On defense, you have Kalle Johansson with 3 points, 2 points for Alsing, Ginning, Mikowski, Norberg, and Sixna, 1 for Carlson, nothing for McDonald. Bengtson played 1 game and no points. Average ratings, you have a 767 for Kalle Johansson, a 729 for Ginning and Sixna, a 7 for Mikowski, a 686 for McDonald, a 671 for Alsing, a 657 for Carlson and Norberg, and then a 6 for Bengtson. And forwards, Alex Naslund so far leads our team with 7 points in 7 games played. It looks like he gets hot in the early stages of the season. Hopefully he doesn't cool off in the later stages like he did last year, and hopefully he can, keep this pace up and be point per game at the end of the season. 6 points for Schmidt-Svestrup, 5 for Waugh, 4 for Janssen, Miller, Rimshaw, Dyke, and Larson. Tracy with 3 points, Lindberg with 2, Winquist with 2 as well in 4 games, 1 point for Beresnev, and 0 points for Lindberg and Seymour. Average ratings, you have Janssen and Schmidt-Svestrup, both with a 757. You have a 743 for Naslund and Tracy, a 729 for Waugh, a 7 for Dyke and Miller, a 686 for Larson, a 671 for Rimshaw, a 657 for Lindberg, a 650 for Winquist, and a 643 for Beresnev. And then Lindberg has a 6, and Seymour with a 567, unfortunately. And a look at the standings, we're currently sitting in 3rd after 7 games. We went 5-2-0-0, and we are currently sitting at 15 points. So now we will take a look at the schedule for the past month's games. So the first game of the season was a 4-0 win over Sundsvall. Then you have a 4-1 win over Björklöven, a 3-2 loss against Karlskoga, a 3-2 win against Oskarshamn, a 3-2 win against Västerås, a 4-1 loss against Almtuna, then a 4-2 win against Mora. So now for the start of October, we will get Olsen in there. We have games against Västervik, Karlskrona, Tingsryd, Troja Lundby, Vida Hasten, Sundsvall, Björklöven, Karlskoga, Södertälje, and Oskarshamn. So got a jam-packed month. Let's get to it. And our own Igor Larson has been ranked for the NHL entry draft into 67th place. So sometime in the early 3rd round, he should be going. Let's make sure that he has a good season there in the J20 League. Maybe we'll call him up to the Allsvenskan at some point. But for right now, we'll leave him right down there. I want to see how he simulates. And as well, Velan Widmark has made it into 116th place in the import draft. He is with the J18 team, so hopefully he has a good season as well. Okay, so our record with Olsen in there for the first 3 games hasn't been impressive, so we're going to get Forsberg back in. Ooh, Sebastian Dyke out for 2 months with a fractured ankle in our 8-0 win over Sundsvall. Ooh, that is unfortunate. So now in his place, we're going to get Lindberg back in there. And the player of the month is Fabian Zetterlund of Tingsryd, and the rookie of the month is Ari Forsblad of Troja Lundby. So now here are the stats after 2 months of simulating. Eric Forsberg, 14 games played, 10 wins, 4 losses, a .920 save percentage, and a 1.95 goals against average. He's been by far the better goaltender, and a 786 average rating. For Victor Olsen, he's played 4 games. He has an 886 save percentage and a 750 average rating. On defense, you have Mikowski with 10 points, 9 points for Johansson, 8 for Norberg, 4 for Ginning, 3 for Alsing, 2 for Carlson, and Sixna. Nothing for McDonald. And average rating wise, you have a 756 for Johansson, a 741 for Mikowski, 694 for Ginning and Norberg, a 676 for Alsing, Carlson, McDonald, and Sixna. So overall, defense is doing pretty well. And forward-wise, you have Janssen, Schmidt-Svestrup, and Naslund all with 15 points. Waugh with 14 points. Rimshaw with 13 points. Dyke with 11 points in 9 games. Of course, he's been out for the last while with an injury. 9 points for Lindberg and Tracy. 8 points for Larson. 7 for Miller. 6 for Winquist. 3 for Beresnev. 1 for Lindberg in 8 games. And average ratings, you have a 771 for both Janssen and Schmidt-Svestrup, a 753 for Waugh, a 744 for Dyke, a 741 for Tracy, a 735 for Naslund, a 712 for Rimshaw, 682 for Miller, a 676 for Larson and a Lindberg, and the 650 for the other Lindberg, a 647 for Beresnev, and a 643 for Winqvist. And another look at the standings. After 17 games played, we are 10-6-1-0 and 32 points on the season. Now we'll take a look at our schedule from the past month and for the upcoming month. So we had a 3-2 shootout win against Vastervik, a 4-2 loss against Karlskrona, another 4-2 loss against Tingsryd, a 9-1 win against Troja Ljungby, a 3-1 win against Vida Hasten, an 8-0 win against Sundsvall, a 5-3 loss against Björklöven, a 2-1 win against Karlskoga, a 4-2 win against Södertälje, and a 3-1 loss against Oskarshamn. And for the next month of games, we have Västerås, Almtuna, Mora, Vastervik, Karlskrona, Tingsryd, Vida Hasten, Sundsvall, and Björklöven. The player of the month is Emil Kruse of Västerås, and the rookie of the month is Simon Edvinsson of Sundsvall. And now we will take a look at the stats at the halfway point of the season. Erik Forsberg with 16 wins and 5 losses, a .916 save percentage, and a .786 average rating. He has been killing it so far this season, as opposed to Olsen, who not really. In 6 games, he has an .877 save percentage and a .717 average rating. Defensively, you have 13 points for Johansson and Mikowski, 12 for Norberg, 7 for Ginning, 5 for Alsing, 4 for Carlson, and 6 1 for McDonald. And the average ratings, you have a .731 for Mikowski, a .720 for Johansson, a .696 for Norberg, a .681 for Alsing and Ginning, 673s for Carlson and 6 and a .669 for McDonald. Forwards, you have 28 points for Schmidt-Svedstrup, 27 for Janssen and Waugh, 23 for Rimshaw, 21 for Naslund, 18 for Tracy, 15 for Miller, 11 for Dyke. Of course, he has not played since he got injured. 11 points for Larson, 10 for Lindberg, 8 for Beresnev and Winqvist, and 3 points for Lindberg. And average ratings, you have a .781 for Schmidt-Svedstrup, a .777 for Janssen, a .765 for Waugh, a .756 for Tracy, a .744 for Dyke, a .723 for Naslund, a .715 for Rimshaw, a .696 for Miller, a .665 for Lindberg, a .658 for Beresnev, a .650 for Larson, a .639 for Winqvist, and a .635 for Tom Lindberg. And as we take a look at the standings, we are sitting in second after 26 games. We are 17-8-1-0 and 53 points on the season, 2 points ahead of Mora and 7 points behind Almtuna. So Almtuna is very good, but we are also very good, and we should be realistically contending for a top 2 spot for the rest of the season, presuming that nothing goes wrong like it did last season and we almost missed the playoffs. And now we will take a look at the past month's games. So you had a 5-3 loss against Västerås, a 3-2 win against Almtuna, a 5-3 loss against Mora, a 5-2 win against Vastervik, a 5-3 win against Karlskrona, a 4-3 win against Tingsryd, a 4-2 win against Vida Hasten, a 6-2 win against Sundsvall, and a 5-2 win against Björklöven. So since we're at the halfway point of the season, I will leave you guys off here, and I'll see you guys in the next one when we finish off the regular season of year number 7. See you guys then.